Hey, Trash.
Cruising for street meat again?
You're just jealous because I am the moment and you are a bitch.
Would you please stop calling me that?
Sure, dude.
It is ma'am.
Oh, honey, if you don't find that dipstick to check my oil, I'm going to lose my nut and bolt.
Ooh, yeah, you like that.
Betray your customers, you must. This is the way of the woke.
What's up, guys? It's Benny. Hollywood should start getting into the Somali daycare business because then they'd actually make a little bit of money. Hollywood is collapsing and the industry is in total peril. Free fall for the Hollywood box office this fall based on creating movies that nobody asked for or wanted to see. It is the single worst October for the Hollywood box office since you or I have been alive. The October box office grossed $455 million, the same amount that they grossed in 1997. But if you adjust for inflation, you have to go back to the 80s in order to find a lower box office season for Hollywood. All of these movies were absolute nightmares, and the nightmare continues as Hollywood is still seemingly out of ideas, except for potentially to start firing the people who led to the wokeifying of Hollywood. Kathleen Kennedy being one of them. Kathleen Kennedy, often mocked as the girl boss of all girl bosses, the woman who turned a boys brand, Star Wars, that everyone liked, into a girls brand that no one liked. This is a paraphrase of the great Chris Gore. Anyway, it's apt and it's correct, and the Star Wars brand is now simply a category on a also collapsing streaming service for Disney. So nothing's going well. I'm not even sure if Disney's made back the billions of dollars that they spent on Star Wars. Obviously, there have been some box office successes, but Disney hasn't released a Star Wars movie in theaters in half a decade. And so obviously things are not going well in the House of Mouse. And now we learn this morning that finally Kathleen Kennedy is getting fired, or at the very least has accepted the reality that her Star Wars vision has been a total and complete failure. David Filoni and Llewyn Brennan, I think I'm saying that correctly, don't know, will reportedly replace Kathleen Kennedy as the co-presidents of Lucasfilm. That always works out great. Brennan is getting promoted from general manager and will oversee executive duties, and Filoni will lead all creative development. The problem is that Dave Filoni has generally humiliated himself in his projects, including but not limited to The Acolyte. This isn't obviously his series necessarily, but he did oversee it. And some of the writers for The Acolyte saying that Dave Filoni ultimately approved the entire script. And so it needs to, the abject failure of this series, which is the lowest rated Star Wars product ever created, falls directly on Dave Filoni. They're pushing Dave under the bus hard. The Acolyte writers subtly puts blame on Dave Filoni as the series hits new low as the worst Star Wars project ever created. Okay, so not all good things for Dave Filoni. Obviously, I think if this had happened 4 or 5 years ago, the Star Wars fans would be ecstatic, but they've been able to see what Dave Filoni has done to Star Wars. Nonetheless, let's read the news and we'll jump to reactions here. In the next week or two, Disney will finally confirm what we've all known for months. Kathleen Kennedy is indeed stepping down as Lucasfilm president, and Dave Filoni, current chief creative officer for the Star Wars unit, will be elevated to the top job. Simon Halls, Kennedy's personal publicist, has already set up her cushy exit interview. I'm sure the Pulitzer Committee is standing by for that piece of journalism. Filoni has never really been a traditional executive, so they're giving him a partner. Brennan, currently president and general manager of the Lucasfilm business, and he'll be the decider on the creative direction of the franchise, film, television, and other platforms in the galaxy. Dave Filoni famously worked with George Lucas, Will this mean that like George Lucas potentially will be brought back? I don't know. How desperate are they for money? How much money do they want to make? It could happen. It could happen. As many smarter people in the industry have said, and for that I'm talking about shout outs to Geeks and Gamers, Nerdrotic, Critical Drinker, and many others, that Kathleen Kennedy doesn't really get fired from these positions, right? If you're this mean and vengeful and angry and sycophantic, then you choose when you go, and you do it exactly at the time of your choosing. This just happens to be the time of Kathleen Kennedy's choosing that she is going to step back, and she's going to do so in a way that is perfectly and totally procured by her army of Hollywood publicists. That you can be assured. So this is now crisscrossing the internet. Everybody is saying, wow, it's happening. It's finally happening. Kathleen Kennedy is the most loathed and hated executive in the history of Hollywood. I can't think of anybody, any studio executive or any creative manager who's done worse. It is impossible to think of anybody on the level of Kathleen Kennedy. She is single-handedly destroyed American culture. I mean, one of the most wonderful things that our culture has ever produced is Star Wars, a 100% original story that could only have been created here. That the original trilogy, just a complete stroke, an act of genius. It was beloved by all, old and young, black and white. Not only even American, of course, it was an international hit everywhere. And it changed culture forever. It still to this day. The original Star Wars legacy characters are as powerful as they've ever been, in spite of Kathleen Kennedy's desire to disgrace them, to disembowel them in the case of Han Solo, to desecrate their legacies, and to pave a way for the Force's female. Kathleen Kennedy reportedly stepping down in favor of overrated Dave Filoni, who is not what you think. She'll still likely stick around at Lucasfilm as a consultant in order to make sure that Star Wars remains a complete joke. There's a lot of people obviously angry about this. It's so cool that we actually have Clone Wars micro series. People give Kathleen Kennedy most of the flack for damaging the Lucasfilm brand, but nobody talks about the damage Dave Filoni has done to Star Wars. A lot of Dave Filoni hate Kathleen Kennedy after Dave Filoni takes over. Okay. See what I mean? Dave Filoni to Kathleen Kennedy right now.
Run yourself.
I don't want, and I want you to get out of this office right now.
I'm sorry, Zed.
No way.
You brought
No
it on
way.
You brought it on yourself.
I don't want you here.
I'm so
Out.
sorry, George. I didn't think it would go like this.
Out.
Zed, I got your voucher.
Out! And I want you to get out of this office right now.
I'm sorry, Zed.
No.
Okay. All right. Got it. Okay. Sounds like Kathleen Kennedy will be stepping down as president of Lucasfilm this month. Too late, perhaps. Star Wars is in a ditch. Filoni prioritizes his mythology over Lucas's. Kathleen Kennedy leaving Star Wars. Dave Filoni, will he even have a chance? He's a huge femme. He loves working with women and just seems to be castrated former cowboy. He will walk in Kathleen Kennedy's high heels and makes things even worse for Star Wars. Jon Favreau should reunite with Vince Vaughn and be in charge of Star Wars. Yikes. That'd be freaking awesome. Elon Musk is obviously a major Star Wars fan and, has criticized Kathleen Kennedy. She's more deadly than the Death Star. Kathleen Kennedy is super bigoted against men. That's right. So the women in Star Wars, such as the Acolyte, struggle due to male-dominated fan base. They hate their paying customers. There you go. Elon Musk slams Lucasfilm boss for killing Star Wars with woke propaganda more deadly than the Death Star. We'll see here, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see. Walt Disney posthumously fired by Disney Company for being a white male. Yeah, we'll see what happens. But it, I don't know. Don't have any premature celebration here, sadly. Nonetheless, you can still hold out hope See what they do. But Kathleen Kennedy being gone from Disney Star Wars is very much a good thing. Can they fix the brand? Time will tell. From a galaxy far, far away, it's Boy Bang.